The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security in Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Acom, and we are broadcasting from the Hesselson studio. And in that studio, Chris returns to tell us about the college fair. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me again. We're only 2 days away from the college fair.
That is unbelievable. How's the planning going?
It's coming. It's busy.
At this point,
it's here. It's here. And, you know, Frank, I got to tell you, first and foremost, thanks for having me back.
Of course.
Thanks for promoting the event. Mm-hmm. But most importantly, I just want to thank all the volunteers that have helped me, and particularly the sponsors that have come through to help out. I mean, we're still short, but I couldn't do it without the sponsors and the volunteers.
Right. And is it too late to volunteer?
It is never too late to volunteer. We always need people. Hopefully we could use some people to help with crowd control. I'm hoping that you don't be that busy.
Of course.
But always could use volunteers to help us with running the event, making sure things run smoothly. But again, I couldn't do it without the volunteers and the sponsors. The sponsors, you know, that have been wonderful over the years, the new ones that have come on that I get a chance to share with you.
Yeah, we will definitely. Let's bring that up a little bit later on because I want to just kind of lay down the who, what, when, where, and why. It's the college fair. It is on Wednesday, right?
Yes.
This week? Boy, that went quick.
Yes, it did.
Seems like we just talked to you. It's 6 to 8 p.m. at the Elmira Elks Lodge. That's on Gray Street in Elmira. There's something that I think we need to clarify that I'm not sure we have in the past. That people think college fair and they instantly say job fair. It's not. It's okay. This is a very specific fair. It's a college fair. Tell us for who this is for and what it actually involves.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up because I do get confusion with people about a job fair. This is not a job fair. No. I'm not competing with anybody that's putting on a job fair.
No.
This is a college fair. Mm-hmm. It's the only one of its kind that's in the Chemung County area in the spring or in the fall for that matter. So it's a one time a year. It is not a job fair, but going to college, getting that degree can lead you to that job, that career path that you want down the road. But right now, it is a college, traditional, true college fair.
Mm-hmm. And how many schools, and you also have, we should mention, you normally have recruiters too from the military.
Of course, we do. And not only that, but I just spoke to Sheriff Strom. Chemung County Sheriff's Department will be present, along with the New York State State Police, the New York State DEC,
that's great.
The Elmira Fire Department, the Elmira Police Department. They'll all be there recruiting cadets because they're also shorthanded and they need people. I mean, you know the numbers.
Yeah,
it's not good. People taking tests has dropped dramatically.
Yeah.
So they'll be there too. So
and it's not like crime's going away.
No, I don't think so.
No. So we need it, but let's go to the school specifically because it is a college fair. I know that you keep adding on schools every time we talk.
I do, and we've got some headliners coming this year again. We've got your local schools,
of course.
And then we've got some schools that are farther away. University of Buffalo, my alma mater.
Oh, great.
We have Syracuse University coming again. We have Cornell University, first time ever coming to it, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, you know, we also have Division II, Division I, JUCO, our community colleges. We have D3 for athletes. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking to play sport, this is a chance you've got from junior college up to D1. You can talk to them about what different athletic programs they have. And most importantly, if you don't want to continue your sports at that level competing, ask about their club teams and their club sports. This is your time to do it.
Yeah. That's what I think's unique about this college fair. And we talk about it nearly every time we've been on the program. The big thing you need to bring is your questions.
Correct.
Because people, they're so inundated with college and that whole process. They have a million questions. They don't know who to ask. This is the opportunity to ask those questions.
This is the opportunity. And the biggest thing about this is that it's one-stop shopping. Mm-hmm. You don't have to drive all over New York or Pennsylvania or wherever for that matter. Those colleges are coming here for one night. Mm-hmm. Bring your questions. Can I strongly suggest that anyone that's listening that doesn't know their questions, that's a high school student or a community college student or looking to go from another school, talk to your school counselors. Mm-hmm. Try to make an appointment with them. Go see them, or Google it on the web. Colleges to ask or questions to ask for college, and see what they have because you want to go prepared.
Yeah.
You know, one of the biggest things is what's the cost.
Yeah. Of course.
You know, the other end is with parents. What's the graduation rate?
Yeah.
That's important. Mm-hmm. You know, do you have a good graduation rate? What's the job placement rate for students that graduate from those schools and those programs? Those are important questions. The other part, too, is, you know, what's the deadline to apply? Mm-hmm. Now, this is April 30th event is taking place. The next day traditionally is May 1st, which is deposit day, where a lot of schools, people make their commitment by May 1st that they're going to that school. Not all schools are like that.
Sure.
But that was traditionally how it used to be, and some are very much like that. But come ask those questions. And also, do you have rolling admissions? So say I don't get into my other school that I wanted to, can I still get into this other school as my backup?
Yeah.
These are questions you need to ask.
And there's so many, if you really sit down and think about it, there are so many questions when you take that leap. Either it's maybe to pursue a different college, higher education in general, because there is no age limit on this. When you look at, especially community colleges, very often are known for having people that are starting their collegiate career later in life.
Non-traditional students.
Thank you. I couldn't think of what the term. So this event is really open for anybody thinking about it.
It is, and I can't suggest that enough. There's a lot of people out there that have college credits. They've never finished their degree.
Yeah.
If you don't have that degree and you want to get it, you've been thinking maybe I'll go back. This is the college fair for you. Talk to these colleges and see, hey, can I still get my degree? How many credits of these will you accept?
Yeah.
And that's a big thing too. A lot of high school students are taking classes, ACE credits, SUPA credits. There's different ones that they have programs with their school. How many are they going to take of that college?
Right. That's a great
Which is
point.
great.
Yeah.
So you're getting those inexpensively or free at some schools. Will that other school take them? If so, are you walking in as a freshman year completed, a sophomore year completed? Yeah. What are they doing? You want to ask these questions because you want to know, because college is expensive.
Yeah. Would you say this is for the student or as well as the parents or perhaps grandparents that want to?
All the above.
All the above.
All the above. Absolutely. And if you're the general person just interested in hearing about college and what they offer, this is for you too. Because it's very important to learn what are the costs. And what does that cost cover? Because remember, you also got book expense.
Yeah.
Parking fee expense.
Right. That's a great
if you're
point.
lucky enough to have a car to go on campus. What about the cost of food?
Yeah, room and board.
Room and board. I mean, you got to think about that. And some of the facilities that these colleges have now are gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Gorgeous. Air conditioning, climate control,
I know.
home bathrooms.
Didn't you say last time some even are pet friendly?
Pet friendly, they are. Yeah, and that's another question to ask them. What if you don't want to leave your cat or dog, or your snake, or whatever you have as a pet?
Right.
I'm saying some schools allow you to take them now.
Yeah, wow, it's times change, but you're paying for it though too.
Correct.
That's the questions you should be asking
Correct.
because you want to get the most bang for your buck. How many schools would you say are participating?
Well, we have to cap it at 50.
Okay.
Because we're limited on space.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so everyone has to play nice in the sandbox.
Yeah, right.
Instead of having your own 8-foot table, you have to share a 6-foot table.
Right, sure.
So unfortunately, it is what it is. But that's a great sign. That's how many people come. Right now, the deadline will end today. Matter of fact, if a college wants to come and they're still hearing me, they have up until today to do that. We have about 42 right now signed up.
Okay.
So we have a little bit more space, which is great.
Which is
great. But we usually can only cap it at 50. And there will be some that will show up, say, oh, you didn't get my registration?
Yeah.
That always happens.
Of course.
But come on in, we'll get you a spot.
It's a college fair coming up this Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Elmira Elks Lodge. We're going to talk about the sponsors here in just a little bit because something this big isn't easy.
No,
I'm sure it is. You already mentioned the volunteers, and the sponsors are so important. But first I wanted to, because we talked about it last time we were on the program, about the drawing. And I think there's been some questions about that. And I thought I'd take a minute before we get into the sponsors if you could tell us about that.
Sure. So this year is unprecedented. I've been able to fundraise enough money to have 3 scholarships, instant drawing. The first one will be for $400, which will be drawn by Dan Mandel, mayor of Elmira. The second one will be for $600, which will be drawn by Rick Petsky, the head of the Elks, the exalted ruler. Yep. And the third one is my ringer, which is Sally Dean Mosier, my boss at the Career Development Center. I have to give them a shout out here at the CDC. But she'll be pulling one for $1,000.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So how that works, you don't have to be a senior, you don't have to be a junior, you don't have to be a community college student. As long as your name is drawn, we have a little form that you fill out, we're going to put in a box, they're going to draw it out. You need to produce that you accepted to a college letter, and then also that you're registered as a full-time student.
Okay.
That's how it's going to work. And then we will give you that check, whether it's later in the summer. We'll have the money waiting for you.
Yeah, right.
Just we're asking for an accepted student letter to the college and also your registration full-time. And then there you go, a check.
Yeah, a scholarship.
Fantastic. Just for coming down, walking around, and looking at some schools.
And learning.
Yeah. Which is great. So we're looking for, that's the first time ever, and I will say this, that wouldn't be possible again without our sponsors.
Yes, and that's and a great segue. Let's talk about your sponsors because you're still always looking for sponsors.
I am.
I know that.
I am.
But this wouldn't be possible without your sponsors.
It wouldn't. And if one wants to come that day to the college fair, which is 2 days away, and say, hey, Chris, here's a $1,000 check.
Yeah.
Or I heard it on TV with Frank Gakem.
Yep.
Here's some money. We'd love to have it.
Yeah.
And we could use it to help offset costs. But we have an updated poster.
Yeah.
Make sure that we share it here with everybody. I'm sure you'll post post it. But our sponsors, if I could just rattle them off real
sure.
quick.
Go ahead.
This year, first on board is Southside Sub Shop. Our owner, big Mets fan like myself, he also has been bringing his subs. His subs are absolutely delicious. He's on board. Of course, we have Dan Mandel, who's been a sponsor. We have Disc Centers of America, which is down at Harmon Rodriguez Chiropractic. We have Texas Roadhouse, first time ever. They're donating. Rodney Strange, been a staple pretty much almost since day one.
Say from day one.
Yep, he'll be doing that. And Rodney will actually be cooking the chicken wings, too.
Of course.
For us, because I'm going to be feeding some people.
Yeah.
So thank you. Hilliard, I can't do it without them. Hilliard's been phenomenal. Of course, a Boss Security.
They
Scott
sponsor our
Beecher.
roof cam. Our
Yeah,
beautiful
right there,
roof cam.
security, make sure it's set, and as you said, crime never stops.
That's right.
Wise Market, down there has jumped on board, right located in Elmira, and we've got, Chris was the manager, now we have Matt. So good luck to them, and thank you for your help. And then, of course, we've got Mooney's Bar and Grill. This is their second year, providing us some sponsorship and some food, which is delicious. As always, we have Marty Chalk, who's been on there last couple of years. Thank you, Marty. We also have On a Roll, again, this year. Wonderful sponsor. Margison's Insurance. Mark, thank you for your help coming on board this year, first time. We have the Heights PFO, which has been on there for the last few years. They've been great. Thank you for your sponsorship. Of course, the Horseheads Elks lets us borrow tables because, again, we're shorthanded. This is all hands on deck,
Of course.
I got a big shout out to Eddie Atwood, my best friend, that helps me out, load these tables up, take them back, unload them, set them up, take them back. So it's a labor of love.
I'm sure it is.
And also we have Hamilton Meats. Chris Bennett has jumped on board this year. He's a first-time sponsor. Appreciate that. Jeremy Gulich, JB Bulldogs Cafe, producing some of the best pulled pork in all of New York State, let alone the East Coast. Then we have Culligan Water, as we see right behind us.
Yeah,
it's delicious.
beautiful. Yes.
I'm actually drinking some now,
Exactly, me
which is
too.
fantastic. They've been a sponsor. Subway, of course, has been on there for years.
Yeah.
Subway's great. The other thing is Wolf's Wags and Wiggles. Tara has been a new sponsor. She's also posting us on our website. She's been fantastic. We have Steve Pickering, who's a county legislator, which has been great. Appreciate Steve jumping on board, helping out. And then the biggest one also is we have Career Development Council, which I've mentioned, who actually will be working the event. My colleagues, if I give a shout out to them.
Of course.
The CDC has been great this year. They jumped on last year, and they're going to be part of it this year. And moving forward, we're going to be working with the CDC to make this event even bigger for the community. More news to follow on that. But we're looking at expanding the college fair. And I can't thank the CDC enough to and I don't want to be a spoiler, but things are going to get bigger.
Keep in touch. How
Keep
about
on
that?
getting bigger and better.
Yeah.
And again, I can't do that without them.
How long have you been doing that?
This is my 14th year.
Wow, so next year could be a big announcement
Yeah,
for 15.
it could be. It could be. And I think I've hit everybody on
Looks
here.
it looks it on the beautiful poster. You're changing these posters left and right. You
Yes.
keep getting new sponsors,
Well,
which is a good problem to have.
Yeah, I am. I'm making sure everyone's on here. But if I could just real quick with that sponsorship, because I think I've got everybody. I think I've got everybody on there that I've so far have come through. And again, they want to be a sponsor. There's still time. We're 2 days away. But I got to give a big thank you out to my beautiful wife, Lindsay.
She does a lot.
Oh my gosh, Lindsay!
You couldn't do it without her.
I couldn't, especially all the madness that goes on.
I mean life, too.
Oh, literally. I've been blessed by God, bring her in my life, without a doubt. My son Leonidas will play the host.
Okay.
He's like the Walmart people greeter.
He's the MC?
Yeah, he'll be going around, checking the freebies out, making sure.
Yeah.
My good friend Chris Giacondo, who doesn't even live here, he's been my IT specialist for years, putting together posters and things, which is great. And then, of course, the CDC, like I said, has jumped on board. Deb Lynch, Sally D. Mosier. I can't speak enough about Kate, Dan, Jen, Sarah. I can go right down a list of all my colleagues that have been wonderful to help me out with this. And I appreciate everyone's help.
Yeah.
The community. But this all started with me running for the school board in 2010. Getting elected, deciding we need to do something else for these kids.
You saw the need for that.
I did, and there is a need to have a college fair in the fall and in the spring.
And that's why I've told people it's such an opportunity for the community to go to something like this. Because like you said, it's rare. This is the only one in our area.
Correct.
That I'm aware of.
It is. Well, I mean, the one like this, where there's instant scholarships.
Yeah.
And again, if you're a community college graduate coming up, congratulations.
Yeah.
You want to transfer, come talk to them. We've got a lot of community colleges around here, great schools. If you are listening to me, you can hear this, come to the event. We're 2 days away.
Yeah.
It's from 6 to 8. And then big thing also this year is our mascots out front.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With the music.
Yeah.
We've got AC Aviator from the local hockey team.
Yeah.
We've got Stitches from the Pioneers, which has been coming every year pretty much. We also have, this year we have the Spartan from Edison who's been there a couple of years. We also have Elroy the Elk who's been there every year.
Yeah.
Our elk mascot.
Of course.
And then, of course, we have Camp Savona is bringing the Prowler, the Panther down, their mascot, which is great. So if someone's listening, like a superintendent, and says, hey, we'd like to have ours out there, contact me.
Yeah.
I'm still in the phone
Involved.
book.
That's right.
You know, my name's on the poster. My email's on the poster. We'd love to have a mascot duel off out there.
That'd be fun.
You know, it'd be fantastic.
That's wonderful. Again, it's this Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Elmira Elks Lodge. That's 300 East Gray Street in Elmira. Well, Chris, best of luck. I know that you put you're really blood, sweat, and tears into this.
A lot.
And for 14 years. And I know this means a lot to you. So best of luck, and we'll talk to you in the spring, or in the fall, I mean.
Thank you for having me, Frankie. We'll talk with big news coming.
All right. Stay with us. This is Frankly Speaking.